Hello friends, my name is Kyle Dell, and since 2003 I've been a professor in the political science and environmental studies departments here at Guilford College. In my current role as academic dean, it's my pleasure to introduce to you two student scholars who are the recipients of the 7th annual Hege Library Research Award. I'm joining you today from the Carnegie Room of Hege Library, a room made possible by Andrew Carnegie and his generosity decades ago. We're here today to celebrate student achievement made possible by the generosity of Guilford alumni, H. Kurt and Patricia S. Hege, classes of 1956 and 1957. The establishment of their award coincided with the 25th anniversary of the 1989 addition to the library that bears their name as its principal donors. The Hege Library Research Award is one of many long-standing and continuing demonstrations of Kurt's and Pat's love of and unswerving commitment to Guilford College. The award recognizes the vital roles of faculty mentorship and librarian engagement in furthering students' development as critical thinkers and thoughtful and discerning researchers. Two $1,000 awards are given on an annual basis to honor and promote exemplary senior theses. This year, our award winners are JILLIAN Morrison and GRACIE PERRY-GARNETTE. I'm pleased to introduce JILLIAN and GRACIE, whose advisors, Associate Professor of Psychology Chris Henry and Professor of Biology Melanie Lee Brown, will offer their remarks as well. Please join me in congratulating these two senior students, both of whose research was deemed exciting, timely, and well-articulated. We'll hear first from JILLIAN and Chris. JILLIAN is a psychology major. The title of her thesis is "Can Pets Cure Loneliness? An Analysis of the Human-Animal Connection in the Context of COVID-19. Following, we'll hear from GRACIE and Melanie. GRACIE is a biology-based major and chemistry minor. The title of her thesis is Stony Coral Tissue Loss Disease on the Reefs of North and Middle Caicos, Turks and Caicos Islands.
So my name is JILLIAN Morrison, and I'm a current senior here at Guilford College. I'm majoring in psychology with minors in Spanish and education, and for my honors thesis, I did a thesis called Can Dogs Cure Loneliness? An Analysis of the Human-Animal Connection in the Context of COVID-19. I first became interested in this topic back in March of 2020, when I noticed a lot of my friends and families adopting pets. I also adopted a dog during that time and noticed how big of an impact he had on me emotionally, physically, and also mentally. So the main goal of my thesis was to investigate why pet adoption rates had dramatically increased during this past year. In order to do this, I conducted two different studies. The first study was quantitative and used an online survey to assess owners' loneliness levels throughout the pandemic. My central hypothesis for this study was 1, that dog owners would rate themselves as less lonely than non-dog owners. 2, that among dog owners, loneliness levels would be negatively and significantly correlated with pet attachment levels. And then 3, that new dog owners would have higher levels of pet attachment than dog owners who did not adopt during the pandemic. Participant responses supported my first hypothesis, but not the second nor the third. Together, these studies show that age, household income, dog temperament, socialization opportunities, and also the owner's particular vulnerability to loneliness all influence their experience over the past year in the context of COVID-19. As for my future plans, I plan to attend the University of Pennsylvania to get my master's of social work. My goal is to be a medical social worker so I can help families and individuals going through challenging medical diagnoses. Thank you so much for your help and support in my academic journey here at Guilford College.
So Jillian began to develop her thesis this semester, and things were greatly impacted by the ongoing pandemic. And yet she found some creative ways to carry out the project via an online survey and conducted some remote interviews with participants from the survey. Supporting Jillian with her thesis was challenging due to pandemic conditions. As an interesting aside, Jillian and I have never been in the same room before. The entire partnership that we've had over 2 semesters now has been completely via remote meetings. But we found a way to make that work. We had a regular schedule, there was a routine to it, and we both became comfortable with the remote meetings and communicating purely through email and exchanges of documents online. So it was a challenging experience. At the same time, however, Jillian made that a really smooth process in that she took an incredible amount of responsibility for executing the project, and my role became very much a support role rather than a supervisory role. And it was a very smooth partnership, I feel, from start to finish, and she did excellent work. Thank you so much for your support. You made an excellent choice in selecting Jillian for the Hege Library Research Award.
My name is Gracie PERRY-GARNETTE. I am a senior undergraduate at Guilford College. I am studying biology, minoring in chemistry. So the title of my thesis is Stony Coral Tissue Loss Disease, SCTLD, on the reefs of North and Middle Caicos, Turks and Caicos Islands. This study is looking at stony coral tissue loss disease on stony corals found around these reefs. How I got into this project is after visiting the Turks and Caicos Islands in 2019, I fell in love with this place the same year that this disease was first found in the reefs. From there, I got into contact with the Turks and Caicos Reef Fund and started building a relationship to be able to come down here and survey the reefs of North and Middle Caicos. So as conducting this research, I found the results to be roughly 1 out of 5 corals that I surveyed presented with SCTLD. That would be like 1 out of 5 people dying from a disease or losing 20% of a land or a population. That is how devastating this disease is. SCTLD also kills the corals at a very rapid rate, to large corals being killed over a few weeks, to small corals being killed over a few days, with no signs of recovery. Other research has showed that this disease is probably caused by a bacterial agent, as there are treatments that are showing a good amount of efficacy in treating the corals and preventing the disease. I would like to thank Kurt and Pat Hege for the opportunity for this award. I will be using this award to go towards coming back down to the Turks and Caicos Islands and conducting further research with the Turks and Caicos Reef Fund, with an internship over the next year.
Gracie is a very intelligent scientist, and she's a young investigator. She's going to be going to get her PhD, and this opportunity has given her the chance to do a lot of networking and to be able to work on networking skills, so that now she has built relationships that she's going to be able to continue both with scientists in the States to be able to do her PhD work, but also here in Turks and Caicos. So she has made a lot of friendships, and her work is being very valued. In fact, her research is so important and so on point right now that it has been used already at international meetings for the stony coral tissue loss disease. So all of her research is very valuable. So it has both economic impact on the islands for tourism, but it also has an impact as far as on the life of the reef. So it's a very delicate ecosystem that we need to make sure that we maintain. So important work, important research, very timely. And Kurt and Pat, once again, you have been wonderful advocates for our students at Guilford. And we thank you so much for your generosity and all of the work that you've done, and for being so caring and so special to all of our students and our community as a whole. Thank you again.
Thank you, Jillian and Gracie, for sharing your exciting work with us, and congratulations again as honorees of the 2021 Hege Library Research Award. Our celebration of you both, while virtual, is no less heartfelt and meaningful. Jillian and Grace, you are model student researchers that we continue to cultivate and support as part of the EDGE at Guilford College. I hope you will join me in congratulating Jillian and Grace in their research and collaborations. Thank you.